for the moving image and awareness of the importance of the moving image as a historical document and a cultural document too. I think you wouldn't be able to do the job, you wouldn't be able to go from day to, you wouldn't understand why you're doing it. I mean, I think that's the important thing. I think you need to be able to sort of comprehend why you sit here every day looking after this stuff and enabling access to this stuff. You just wouldn't get it at all.
Films from 1897, to as recent as 2006,
yeah.
Your copy of Confetti. Have you got a favourite piece or a favourite couple of pieces?
I've got this kind of soft spot for Scenes in Glossop, which is a lovely film about it's a phantom ride on the front of a tram through Glossop High Street, and I have a soft spot for it, I suppose, because the material was found in a skip. It was almost just completely disappeared. I developed a relationship with the Glossop Heritage Centre as a result of this material being found, and have quite a good relationship with them. And people that I've worked with in schools particularly have found a great deal of interest, or have shown a great deal of interest in using it. And so I've had kind of these kind of connections with it, and every time I see it, there's something else, something new in there. And there's even things like we thought originally we thought the material was shot in sort of 1950, something along those kind of lines, and then the Heritage Centre suggested that it was actually earlier than that, in 1910 perhaps, because the cinema exists, is shown in it, features in it. But then we had an academic who said, well, actually, I think it's kind of even earlier than that, because these people are wearing clothes which were unfashionable by 1910. But then it's Glossop, and so and so there's this kind of, as you kind of learn more and more about particular films, you get more and more drawn into them, and I think that's when you start getting attached to them. In fact, just at the moment we've got some people downstairs who's looking at an amateur film from the 1940s. About a woman who was born in Birmingham, and the first shot of her is this tiny little baby, and then eventually she's got a younger brother, and by the end of the war she's got a younger brother, and she's like 6 or 7 years old, and I've met this woman who's now in her, I don't know, 60s, 70s. And so you kind of, again, and she talks about this material really affectionately, and that time really affectionately, and so with that context, with that information, that material just becomes is brought to life, and every time we see it, it helps that it looks nice.
What is the future of the base?
Well, at the moment it's pretty bright, really. We've got 3 years of this Heritage Lottery funded project around the corner. We've just got to start recruiting, so we're just about to almost double the amount of people who are working here. In the short to medium term, Macy's future is very bright.
So that was me going to Leicester to visit Richard Shenton at the Media Archive. What did you guys think?
Yeah, it was really interesting.
Yeah, they
seeing all the old
seemed
footage.
very enthusiastic about the whole thing.
He was very enthusiastic. He said